lot about flooding, it seems like, this year.
Yeah, it's been very intense when it does happen. I know when it does happen, that's one of the things you guys talk about in regards to the climate here, Brad.
Yeah, certainly something. This has been the summer of flooding. We've seen a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so we've seen the frequency and intensity of these extreme rainfall events increasing over time, and this summer seems to be a pinnacle of that, where we've seen a lot of them. And today was a good example. I mean, remember, think this morning, there was no thunderstorms, no tropical system, and yet we saw 4 to 5 inches of rain. There was so much what we call precipitable water in the atmosphere, and we've got another big surge of that trying to come in late tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, it doesn't look nearly as intense as what came in this morning, but because the ground is saturated in many locations where that swath of rain happened, it often takes less rain to cause future flooding in this case. So tomorrow morning, you see right after sunrise, I do anticipate another wave of mostly scattered showers and downpours, but the intensity could be enough, especially in this area right here where we saw flooding today, that it could cause additional, we'll call nuisance flooding. A lot of these creeks and streams are going to get above flood stage again, possibly. You see the temperatures, 60s. I mean, the coolest day we've had in the month of August since 2014. Tomorrow, it's warmer, but still way below our normal high for this time of year. Now, today we had that medium risk for flash flooding. Tomorrow, that risk begins to shift a little bit east, but it does include areas east and along I-77. That's the area that was impacted this morning. By Thursday, we'll start to dry out almost completely as the rain moves out of the region. We want you to stay weather impact alert tomorrow, especially in the morning, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m., kind of the same time frame, just because it looks like the timing of the heavier downpours could be during that same morning rush into the early part of the day. Flooding would be our number one concern. It looks even more isolated tomorrow than it was today, but it's something to keep in mind as we go through the morning hours. Now, our futurecast shows that cluster trying to redevelop late tonight doesn't look nearly as intense, but there are some embedded thunderstorms, unlike this morning, which didn't have any lightning or thunder. Anytime we see thunderstorms, that means intensity of the rainfall could be a little bit heightened, and especially as we get into the morning hours. But then it pushes out fairly quickly, so that's why we're not looking as widespread an event. But once that moves out, we actually start to see drier weather, and the sun might actually make a return here by the end of the week. Now, additional rainfall, think our futurecast, again, not showing the intensity as well, but there could be some pockets of 1, maybe 1.5 inches. So again, not as much as today, but it won't take as much. Now, by the end of the week, we'll be watching eastern North Carolina for some heavy rainfall because we could see a tropical system develop there. Our biggest chances of rain will be tomorrow. Then it becomes more isolated in nature. Where's that tropical system going to come from? Possibly the old stalled front and the wave of low pressure sitting over the Gulf Stream could eventually spin up a tropical or non-tropical low and moving inland maybe by the weekend. We're going to see a warm up as well. This cool pattern has been extended. It's been pretty wild to see this in early August, but Mother Nature is going to correct things back to summer here, and we're actually going to go back above normal as we go towards the middle of the month. And that means temperatures in the low 90s possible. Remember, the average high starts to trend down by the end of the month. Look at the temperatures increasing by the weekend, only into the low 80s, but by next week, your 10-day forecast shows the 90s making a comeback.
All right, Brad, thanks for that look.